Hi, I'm Alan Smith, and I am bringing you the East Dallas Real Estate Market Update Report for August of 2023. I've been doing this market report now for almost 10 years because I believe that it's important that you as a buyer or seller that you understand what is happening in our East Dallas market. So if you're thinking about buying or selling residential real estate now or in the near future, it's important that you do understand what is happening in the local market. So I go to NetRis, that's NTREIS, which is our local MLS. MLS stands for Multiple Listing Service. That is where we as realtors, we input our information about our houses that are for sale or have sold. As a non-disclosure state, that is Texas is a non-disclosure state, we do not publicly advertise what the sold price is of any particular property. So that is one of the reasons that you need to find a local realtor to help you understand and navigate the market, because we get to go into the MLS and we get to see what that house down the street actually did sell for and details of that sale. I've been looking at that information, analyzing trends, as I said, for almost 10 years now. That way I can see, I'm not able to predict. We don't have in this industry, we don't have a crystal ball. We can't tell you what's happening next week, next month, or next year in the market. But what we can do is, as a professional realtor, we can go into this information, we can look and see these trends. And so I do analyze these trends. I go in every month and see what happened the prior month. So I'm looking at August, because we're always looking back usually a month. Or I can go back 5 years or 10 years and see what's happened in the market. And so I'm going to share some of that information with you here. As I said, I've looked at NetRis for August of 2023, and there's some information that I want to share regarding first, the number of sold listings decreased by nearly 40% to 101 units, with the top sale of $2,470,000 at 4034 Sperry Street. The decrease, seems like a substantial decrease. I believe that is caused by two things. One, the higher interest rates are affecting the market to some extent. Not for every buyer, but for some. But also, most importantly, is the lack of inventory. And we'll get to that here in just a minute too. So the average sale price increased by 5.18% to $771,827, which moved the average price per square foot down slightly, 1.49%, to $331 per square foot. So what we've been seeing now for almost a year, especially here in 2023, is we've been seeing that the sale price per foot and the average sale price will move sometimes together, up slightly or down slightly. And in some months we've seen where one will go up, one will go down. That's just a different indicator than what we saw last year when everything was moving up every month, month after month after month. So we're beginning to see what I'm going to call as a stabilization to the market. Does that mean that prices are going down? Probably not. It just means that we're not seeing the rapid, white hot increase that we saw the previous 2 years. The inventory of properties that are available for sale, measured in what we call month supply, increased by 50%. Again, that sounds like a lot, but that 50% increase just brings us to 2.7 months worth of properties for sale. So we've discussed this before. If you haven't heard me say this, 6 months is what we consider a balanced market, but we've been in a seller's market, to a strong seller's market here in Dallas, East Dallas specifically, for almost the past 10 years. So we've not been near that 6 month supply for some time. But compared to last year, especially the spring of 2022, when we had like a 2-week supply, 3-week supply of inventory, it has substantially increased. But again, there's still a shortage of inventory. I do believe that's what's affecting the number of solds that we saw in August of 2023. Mortgage rates, so let's discuss that. They've also increased, with the 30-year fixed rate average near 7.18%, according to the mortgage rate source, Freddie Mac. That is, again, we've hit a 20-year high, so we haven't seen these rates since 2003. So in the coming months, it's important that you understand some of the following. Let's look at those things. And we've hit some of those topics here. The 30-year fixed rate mortgage has remained just above 7% for over 4 weeks. So that's a little bit of a difference. We've seen it blip up like 7.2, 7.05%, and then we saw it drop down into the upper sixes. But we've maintained that level above 7% now for over a month. You know, if you've been listening to me, I like Sam Khater. That's Khater. He is the chief economist for Freddie Mac. This is what Sam said recently. He said the economy remains buoyant, which is encouraging for consumers, though while inflation has decelerated or slowed down, firmer economic data have put upward pressure on mortgage rates, which in the face of affordability challenges are straining potential home buyers. So we have he talks about interest rates here. Last month he talked about the shortage of inventory. Those two items are constraining, reducing, restricting, whatever you want to say, potential home buyers. Plus, we've already discussed this, but this is one of my points I want to make. Pending and sold listings hit their highest point June of last year and have consistently decreased on a month-over-month basis and year-over-year. So August of last year compared to August of this year, we've seen the pending and sold numbers decrease. Again, I think that's related to the interest rates as well as the lack of inventory. And that leads to my my other bullet point here. Local inventory levels have seen a slight uptick. And again, that's 50% seems like a lot, but it's really not compared to where we need to be. So the inventory rates remain alarmingly low. Another thing that I've been following, which most people don't pay attention to, but I think it indicates what the likelihood of multiple offers are happening in the neighborhood or in the market. The list to sold price ratio is one of the things I look at. While it maintains a strong upper 90% range, it has experienced a noticeable decline from the peak levels that we saw in the spring of 2022, indicating fewer multiple offers. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. I heard through some real estate friends that work in the northern suburbs up in Frisco, there was a property that they saw in the 700s. There were over 110 showings at open houses on the Friday and Saturday. They ended up receiving 31 offers, and they went well over the $700,000 price point that it was listed at. Conversely, down here, we had one in the office where we had about 50 people through on a Saturday and Sunday open house, and they didn't receive but 3 to 4 offers, and the offer didn't go way above ask. So what we're seeing is it may come in at the ask price, but the buyer may then be offering to pay what we typically see are seller's closing costs, title policy, the survey, the home warranty. Those are things that we used to could, and sometimes we still can, get the seller to pay. But we're just, you know, this doesn't mean that everything in East Dallas is completely different than the northern suburbs, but every neighborhood's different. And if you've been listening to me or following me for some time, I tell you that real estate is very local. That is why you need a local realtor professional to help you navigate this market. The other thing we're seeing, and this is similar to, this relates to just what I said, discerning buyers are displaying a reluctance to invest in overpriced or average condition homes. In contrast, homes that are realistically priced and market ready are demonstrating healthy sales activity. So we've discussed this in the past, and this is just another point you need to be aware of, is that if you're selling and your home is overpriced and it's an average condition, you're gonna receive pushback. You must listen to your realtor that is helping you to navigate this. So again, if you're thinking of buying or selling residential real estate now or in the near future, it's important that you seek the guidance and advice of an expert local realtor. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next real estate market update. Have a great day.